well, इस वक्त मेरे साथ शो में इंडिगो, जो आप जानते हैं बिग एयरलाइन कंपनी इन इंडिया, इनके सीईओ रोनो दत्ता हमारे साथ शो में जुड़ रहे हैं टू डिस्कस मोर अबाउट आगे कंपनी के क्या प्लान्स हैं, किस तरीके के ट्रैवल ट्रेंड्स हम देख रहे हैं और आगे आफ्टर कोविड डिमांड कब और कैसे पैन आउट हो रही है। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर योर टाइम। पहले तो मैं आपसे इस वक्त जो सिचुएशन में ये इंडस्ट्री, ऑफ कोर्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट 2 years ऑलमोस्ट हमने देखे, बट अब जैसे रिवाइवल दिख रहा है, कैसे समराइज करेंगे सर?
So I think I can summarize it best through numbers. So pre-COVID, we had 1,500 departures a day. Then, of course, there was a lockdown last March. We recovered somewhat in December, February. We were up to about 1,200 departures a day. Then May came, and May was a very bad month for us with COVID too. And we went down all the way to about 350 departures a day. And since then, June, July, we're gradually improving again, and we're back to the 1,200 departures number. So good revival from May through September, and not back to the pre-COVID peak of 1,500 departures. But we are hopeful that by December, we will in fact get back to pre-COVID 1,500 departures a day.
Okay, wonderful. I think आपने quantify करके with numbers gave us a better perspective, surely. So by December आप कह रहे हैं things will get much better and we will get back to pre-COVID levels. I think ये बहुत अहम बात है जो आपने बताई. But just trying to understand, क्योंकि ये जो pent up demand लोग कह रहे हैं या revenge travel की बात कर रहे हैं, are you actually seeing those trends? और क्योंकि अभी restricted travel है, बहुत सारे countries अभी नहीं open up हुए हैं, domestic भी slowly people are now coming out on vacations and so on. आप कैसे देख रहे हैं both sectors, either domestic or international?
So look, I mean, we are not back to normal, obviously. We are still below that. The good thing, there's recovery. So I'm hopeful by next summer, we'll start seeing all the pent-up demand and all that you're saying. Because domestically, of course, there are few destinations, Goa, Srinagar, Sikkim. People are traveling there in larger numbers, and you can see it. The other good thing that's happening is, I think a lot of first-time flyers are coming into the airline industry, and especially from small towns where there is migrant labor. And I'm talking of towns like Patna, Ranchi, Guwahati. We're seeing a lot of first-time flyers, which is a very encouraging trend. But to the revenge travel part of it, Maldives clearly saw that. Malé, there was a lot of traffic all of a sudden. We hope when Thailand opened up, we'll see the same thing. But that, I won't say broad-based. You get pockets of strong travel on this revenge pent-up holiday demand, but it's not broad-based yet.
Okay, yeah, sure. Sorry. I said definitely broad-based नहीं है. It's a very specific destination-specific demand जो हम देख रहे हैं, जैसे आपने कहा. But जो आपने बात कही दिसंबर से we will be back to pre-COVID levels. ये domestic की obviously आप बात कर रहे हैं. Is that right?
हाँ जी, yes, domestic.
जी. Yeah, and so international के point of view से अब आगे क्या आपके plans हैं? I know आपने अभी हाल ही में 38, in fact as early as today 38 नए domestic routes announce किए हैं. But international पर आपके क्या plans हैं?
International government तो ये bubble flights शुरू किए हैं. So we have started bubble flights to some destinations such as UAE, some to Bangladesh, to Doha, to Kuwait. So we are pushing for more bubble flights. So हम government से बात कर रहे हैं कि Saudi Arabia, Thailand, we should start flying to those destinations as well. So international is opening up gradually. And I think that's fair given all the health concerns that people have. But again, I'm pretty sure that by next summer, we'll be back to pre-COVID levels internationally as well.
Okay, great. So you're saying internationally हम next summer तक pre-COVID levels पर आ जाएंगे और domestically इसी साल, as in December 2021 तक domestic पर आ जाएंगे. Okay, sir. Fair enough. अभी अगर हम सरकार से, गवर्नमेंट से कुछ सपोर्ट की उम्मीद रख रहे थे ऑल थ्रू दिस वाइल, बट अब क्या और कुछ एडिशनल स्टेप्स हैं जो सरकार ले सकती है टू जस्ट हेल्प दिस इंडस्ट्री ग्रो इवन मोर? ATF is one of the big agendas, sir, जो हम जानते हैं GST Council में could be taken up, or but other than that, आप as in from the industry perspective क्या चाहते हैं सरकार से?
So I'm very, very enthusiastic about our new Mantri, Mr. Sindhya. He is very proactive. He's listening to our concerns. And I think we've started a partnership between industry and ministry, which is very badly needed. For years, we keep saying that countries in Southeast Asia, whether Singapore, Malaysia, they have great private-public partnership. I think with this new minister in place, we might see that in India, in the aviation ministry. So we're very enthusiastic about that. And I think he's working on a lot of initiatives. I'll let him announce them when he's ready. But I'm very, very happy that he's taking such a proactive stance on aviation.
Okay, sure. So बहुत सारी चीजें हो रही हैं सेक्टर के लिए definitely, और open up भी हम देख रहे होते हुए. Competition sir equally intense हो रहा है. उसको कैसे देखेंगे? Because I think there are quite a few interesting entrants जो आ रहे हैं. आपको पता है कुछ नाम, तो कैसे देखते हैं competition को आगे?
Competition so definitely will get more intense. There's no question. We think Air India will be a formidable force because it'll be Air India plus Vistara plus Air Asia all rolled into one. There's another airline, as you know, Akasa is coming, and then there's Jet Airways 2 coming as well. So competition will be intense. But we focus on our strengths. And our first line of defense is our cost structure. We have one of the lowest cost structures in the world. Our second line of defense is our service. And I have to tell you about our service. As you know, we are, of course, number one domestically on time performance, but we are also number 3 in the world in on-time performance. So Japan Airlines and LATAM or Brazil are ahead of us. We are number 3, and behind us are other big names like Lufthansa, British Airways, Delta. We beat all of them on-time performance. Then there is customer complaint ratios. Our customer complaint ratios for Indigo is 1/10 of the rest of the industry. Not a little bit better, but order of magnitude better, 1/10 of the industry. So our second line of defense is our world-class service. Our third line of defense is our network. You must know that we started flying to small towns, Jaise, Bareilly, Darbhanga, 7 stations. Even in the middle of the pandemic, we are growing domestically into smaller stations. So our network and our reach is our third line of defense.
Sure.
So yes,
sir, I must thank you for Bareilly, as you mentioned. I'm from Bareilly, so mere liye to, and Bombay Bareilly has become now a quick 1-2 hours flight, which has been a dream. So thank you. Definitely आप connectivity जो बढ़ रही है देश की, उसमें बहुत बड़ा contribution Indigo दे रही है. And good to know, sir, that आप काफी ahead हैं amongst many other global airlines, जैसे आप बता रहे हैं, especially on time performance, जिस पर it's a big deal, I believe. आगे sir कैसे देखते हैं for the company, if I were to just get some financials going? I know आपके पास जहाज जो अभी है, इसके बियॉन्ड आप और भी जहाज लीज करेंगे, लेंगे, क्या प्लान्स हैं आगे? बिकॉज अब आपको once we are out of COVID, which we are hoping we are almost out now, तो जो नेक्स्ट फेज जिस तरह से आप देख रहे हैं, लोगों का ट्रैवल एस्पिरेशन भी बड़ा है, सो आप उस ग्रोथ स्टोरी में कैसे पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे?
So I think the growth story देश में is immense. Only 7% of Indians so far travel by air. So there's so much growth opportunity there. On top of that, our economy is growing, so income levels will grow. Therefore, I think the future for Indian aviation, there's a lot of growth opportunity. Indigo is going to participate in this forcefully. We already have roughly around 260, 270 aircraft. We've placed an order for another 300 aircraft. As you know, going forward, which will be delivered from 23-24 onwards. Now, with that, we will grow domestically and internationally. हमारा जो international expansion का scope है, वो बहुत जबरदस्त है. because we can grow all the way to Europe, to Africa, to the Eastern Asian nations. So we have a big, ambitious expansion plan in place. And therefore, I'm very optimistic that in the future, we'll grow both domestically and internationally.
Okay, sure. Sir, आप हमारे साथ numbers share कर सकते? Can you throw some light on किस तरीके की growth की हम बात कर रहे हैं? Top line, bottom line, margins, कैसे expect करेंगे?
So, look, financials, it's been a very bad year. हम ये last quarter में आगे बढ़. So, you know, we have an aspiration goal, but it's a little far-fetched at this point to even think about, because our current profitability is very negative. But once we get back to normalcy, and that's at least a year, if not 18 months out, our aspiration is to get to at least 10-11% PBT margins, as they call it. But that's aspirational, because if you look at our current performance, we are losing a lot of money. Even today, we're losing a lot of money. So first we have to stop the bleeding, then we have to break even, and then we have to get back to normalcy. But I do believe normalcy is not that far away now. When we went into the pandemic, we said we don't know what's going to happen, but let's just get better at everything we do. And we have gotten better at everything. Whether it's a customer service level, if it's our charter business, if it's a cargo business, if you look at our network, if you look at our cost structure, we have gotten better in every measure.
Okay. Sir, of course, मैं आपसे कार्गो बिजनेस पर भी एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहती हूँ, क्योंकि वो भी काफी अच्छा ग्रो किया, स्पेशली ड्यूरिंग पेंडेमिक. हमने देखा, of course, vaccines were pretty much brought in from other parts of the world or sent from India. तो कार्गो बिजनेस के आगे अपॉर्चुनिटी कितनी दिखती है? How much business revenue will it contribute to your business going forward?
I cannot give you revenue numbers, but in terms of the fleet, we took 11 of our passenger airplanes and converted them to cargo in belly. So, cargo in cabin. So we don't have freighters yet. So these 11 passengers are sort of converted into some sort of cargo in the cabin. But next year, we are ordering 4 freighter aircraft. So we're very enthusiastic about that. And there's lots of opportunities in cargo.
So for Indigo, of course, आप बहुत बड़ी airline है हमारे country में, बहुत सारी destinations जोड़ते हैं. Would you be interested in any M&A opportunity? I know Air India के लिए already 15 September timelines दी गई हैं as we speak, as the last date for bid. But beyond this, would you be open?
I firmly believe that a business is only as strong as its business model. ये business model में ताकत नहीं होता तो business अच्छा नहीं करता. So our business model is strong, and we are very careful about adopting other people's business models and forcing it to work. So no, we have no plans at all of M&A. We will continue to grow internally.
Okay, sure. So आपसे बात करके ये समझ में आ रहा है कि you are very, very optimistic for the future. Currently, of course, हमने challenges देखे हैं, but you have a timeline for each of your domestic plan or turnaround in the sense of pre-COVID बात करें. But मैं आपसे एक question आपने of course margins की भी बात की, but business growth के लिए आपको जो funding की जरूरत होगी, वो आप कैसे meet करेंगे?
Actually, our balance sheet is quite strong, and we don't have any liquidity problems going forward. We are confident we'll be able to fund all our capex and working capital. So we are not in need of raising money at all at this time. Now, we do have a QIP in place, and that is only as insurance in case there's a COVID wave 3 comes out, or if the government does another lockdown. It's meant purely for insurance. But we are fairly confident we can keep going ahead with our internal cash generation.
Sir, MRO कितनी बड़ी opportunity है for a company like yours?
MRO is a big opportunity for the country. It's not an opportunity for Indigo. So many airlines in the past have sort of backward integrated into maintenance. They've all found it to be a mistake. So whether it's United, American, British Airways, they all had their own maintenance facility. They've all gradually spun it off. So MRO is a big opportunity for the country, but not for the airline necessarily. It'll be a standalone hub.
Okay, sure. ATF के जो prices को rationalize करने की बात सरकार कर रही है, आप कब तक hopeful है ये हो जाएगा? Do you hope in the coming
So again,
GST
I'm very encouraged that the minister is reaching out to all the states, and I am hoping that it will be that he'll make some progress. So thank you so much. It was
Thank you,
really
sir.
a pleasure talking to you.